Welcome to That's Good Free Agency, where players are set free and NFL organizations give them a boatload of free money. The Denver Broncos made some moves, made one move, and lost out on several other moves. I'm happy they added a talented guard in Ronald Leary, but it looks like money talks, Peyton Manning talks, and now John Elway quietly whispers in free agency. Let's review the Broncos' moves. That's good, Broncos. This episode is sponsored by CWHemp.com. Go there, use my promo code That's Good to get 10% off of your order. I use Charlotte's Web hemp oil every day. I take it before I go to bed because I've noticed it helps me sleep. I've used it for my back and my inflammation problems when my back goes out, and I'm using it for my brain to help prevent Alzheimer's. There's research that suggests it can help with that. Look it up online, see if there's anything Charlotte's Web hemp oil can help in your life with, and give it a try. Use your brain and look it up. The Denver Broncos' offensive line's biggest priority was tackle. The right tackle position, even with Donald Stevenson and Ty Sambrailo on the roster, was a bigger need than left tackle with nobody on the roster. So that's why it made a ton of sense that their first signing was a guard. There are 4 guards on the roster now: Ronald Leary, Max Garcia, Michael Schofield, and Connor McGovern. With that said, Leary is a big upgrade at the position and should solidify the interior of that line. He is also the only free agent I mentioned to actually sign with the Broncos in my previous videos. And if you thought the Broncos were going to be able to get Russell Okung back, you're wrong, because he signed with the Los Angeles Chargers. So the Broncos definitely don't have a left tackle. And the really good ones are gone. There will not be an upgrade at left tackle, even if they draft someone. Everybody banking on the Broncos to draft a great offensive lineman. I think those chances are slim. It's hard to hit with an offensive lineman in the draft. They typically take time to develop. Getting a little worried here. I would expect Mike McCoy to only run the football between the center and guard, since those are the only linemen the Broncos have. The only way those facts are wrong is if the new offensive line coach believes there are guys that haven't met their full potential on the free agent market and that he could work with and make them super fucking awesome. That's what I call a positive spin. Now, Leary is slated to make around $8.5 million a year on a 4-year deal with about $20 million guaranteed. If Paradis can return healthy, I do believe the 3 inside guys should be much better in 2017. I almost was able to say this, and let's pretend for a second Calais Campbell signed with the Broncos, because I wrote an entire script as if he did. So this is the alternate reality of what could have happened. I don't wear a jacket in this reality. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Calais Campbell just signed with the Denver Broncos. Not for the money, not to be on a winning franchise, not to play for the best defense in the NFL, but because of my tweet. You're welcome, Broncos country. Also, because of Aqib Talib and Chris Harris's tweets recruiting him. The Calais Campbell addition to the defense is beyond huge. The biggest reason the Broncos defense struggled against the run was because they lost Malik Jackson. Calais Campbell is a lot like Jackson, but better. He's a better pass rusher, and he's a better run stopper. So all around, he's an upgrade. Now, the Denver Broncos have 2 very good defensive ends in Derek Wolfe and Calais Campbell. Shane Ray and Calais Campbell on one side, Von Miller and Derek Wolfe on the other. Opposing offenses basically just got dealt a fucking nightmare when they played Denver, while the Broncos defense is living a real-life wet dream each week. Am I overexcited? Yeah. But that's because the splash the Broncos made was not just a big dick splash, it was the legendary Monster Cock Splash. The Monster Cock Award, which is just a yardstick and a bottle of anal lube. The lube is for the opposing team. That's what I would have said had Campbell not decided to be the second right end to go play in Jacksonville, Florida for an overall $6 million, $7 million difference in guaranteed money. Players are flocking to Florida because there's no state income tax. The reason they don't have state income tax in Florida is because they can't rely on the world's largest population of meth heads to pay fucking taxes. So basically, the Broncos did not sign one of the two premier tackles available in Ricky Wagner or Andrew Whitworth. They did not sign Calais Campbell or Chris Baker for the defensive line. And after the Texans brokered a trade with the Browns, getting rid of Brock Osweiler and a second-round pick, I would bet that the Texans are now the favorites to land Tony Romo. So really, based on day one, the Broncos swung a bunch of times at the plate and missed, but then got back up and hit a double with Ronald Leary. That analogy hopefully helps with the baseball fans watching. It feels like the Broncos are doing next to nothing. Maybe they have a plan. We like to believe John Elway always has a master plan, but free agency is a strange and exciting event in the NFL. The Browns proved today that nothing makes any fucking sense, and maybe they're gonna use their plethora of picks for Jimmy Garoppolo, and now my fear is everything that happens today in free agency only benefits the motherfucking Patriots. Don't worry, free agency is still not over. The Broncos still have plenty of time to make some signings, but it looks like the big name people we all talked about leading up to free agency are not gonna land in Denver, which should not surprise any of us because rarely does that happen. Most of the time we talk about all these guys coming in and playing for the Broncos and you get maybe one of them. That's how free agency works. A lot of conjecture, a lot of build-up, and then you're ready for the giant release. And you're like, I've had better releases than that one. And I did not have to pay for them because I was in love, if you get my drift. So stay tuned, I'll be back tomorrow, maybe later tonight, depending on what happens, but I'm sure some moves will happen. We still have to believe. Thanks for watching another episode of That's Good Broncos. Subscribe here, give me a follow on Twitter at Brandon Perna, subscribe here again on YouTube, and then follow me on Twitter on Brandon Perna. I am broken, I am broken, I am broken, I am broken. CWHemp.com, promo code, that's good. Use it or lose it.